stupid, go dumb. Told that boy you gotta pay for some.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And up next is the Miners' superstar cornerback. He's entering rarefied air with every interception, now up to 12 this season. It's the Miners and the Cowboys, next on EA Sports.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in Arlington, Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Sacramento Miners and the Dallas Cowboys. We welcome everybody again alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaud, and CD, we've got an interesting test here today. One of the league's best passing games and one of the best pass defenses set to square up and see who can perform better in a high-profile matchup.
And you and I talk about all the time how fortunate we are to be in this position, to be around these types of games. And as jacked up as these fans are, how about these two teams? They've been looking forward to testing themselves against what is considered the best on the other side. This is going to be a lot of fun, a very exciting battle headed our way.
Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. On the return, it's Taylor. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice, because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
They'll start on the ground with Foster. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He gets this out to Foster on the right side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading the charge, their lefty QB.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A first down throw for Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Play fake. Here's Prescott on the move to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in 1st place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that 1st round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this 1st quarter. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 44-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's Jackson again on the reception. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The numbers for Jackson in last week's game, 10 catches, 81 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I have to admit I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott able to hit his target, Lamb. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Nifty move by Gordon. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Again, it's Williams. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
That's a very nice game there, a confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. On 2nd down, Williams. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And this one is right through. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
A first down carry for Foster. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Prescott. And he wisely will throw that one away. This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. This one complete to Coates. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Prescott on first down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Prescott yet again. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Here's Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
And if we go back to the last series, remember their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe this quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Prescott from the gun. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. Here's 2nd and 8. And incomplete on the deep ball. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Prescott. He'll fight. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here's Sacramento's offense once more. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
A very solid gain of 27.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. A quick throw, but incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
They'll look to throw again. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And for the second time this half, on comes the field goal unit here. This one from 35 yards away. And his kick here is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as these guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
To try again after the sack. Prescott, he'll fire this deep for Gallup, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Prescott down. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now stands at 13. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And
oh, Prescott stripped. It's going the other way.
Prescott on the keeper. Fumble on the play.
And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down a defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf. 2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. Back to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And it'll be intercepted. picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it in the hands of Foster. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. Got an open man, it's Foster. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Prescott now from the 50. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Here's Sacramento's offense once more. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. So roughing the passer, and this is a unit, Charles. They hold their breath every time they see their quarterback go down and get hit like that.
Yeah, they understand how important these last couple of months are for this.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quay Walker, and the Cowboys will take over possession here up at the 44. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half, because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On 2nd and inches, Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A 1st down throw for Prescott. Throw left side, complete to Foster. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. Prescott. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. And again, it's Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught by Jackson. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 6. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they will begin in field goal range already as they search for a potential score. First down, Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Foster. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing, Prescott. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start in the Meadowlands, an NFC East battle that pits Washington against the New York Football Giants. And it's the home team who are out in front. Terry McLaurin, a strong performance there. Another game of interest in the AFC East has us checking in on the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Brandon Ayuk, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map to check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. They'll set up to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Miners take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 4-possession game. And that's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He gets this out to Foster on the right side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
36-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get this up to about the 40. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. touchdown.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the 1st.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that could spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like it takes that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 33 yards that time.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Mike McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag.
Play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And one more time. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A great effort there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Miners have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Over the middle, complete. It's Schultz. And he is going to have the Cowboys' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Prescott to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air, it's going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground to about the 40-yard line.
Holding offense.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Second and 14. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Marcus Davenport in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The offense on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. That's caught by Jackson. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 28. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 78 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. Now then after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Prescott's pass, intended for number 14, incomplete. It's now
4th down, Prescott. And now here is another interception. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Here's Sacramento's offense once more. And they hope to polish things off. And what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak.
They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
88 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for our visitors, they continue to put themselves in position for a 1st-round bye as they move to 8-2. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys,